Welcome back to A&A. Have another Ford here today. This is my 1-ton F350 2008. We have the same issue with the fuel tank that we did on the 3/4 ton. If you haven't watched that video, you can go watch it. 3/4 ton fuel tanks and this F350 fuel tank is different. This fuel tank is a little more boxy, a little more square, and the one on the 3/4 ton was long, kind of narrow, long. This is what they call a cabin chassis. This truck never had a bed on it. And the way you can tell is on your door card here, incomplete vehicle manufactured by Ford Motor Company. The incomplete means you have a cab and in the back is just the chassis, just the frame, because that lets you put whatever you want to on it: service beds, flat beds, whatever, hydraulic tilt beds, tow trucks, you know. So this is a cabin chassis. Now, you see we got it's a custom aluminum flatbed on this truck. By the way, this truck is for sale if any of you are interested. I'm hoping I have enough room between the deck of this flatbed on top of that fuel tank to get that fuel sending unit out. All right, so on the 3/4 ton, you know, we had the long tube that goes down to the bottom, has a plastic foot on it, a rubber foot. Those will degrade and come apart over the years, fall off, the little foot will. And then your tube reaches the gas or the fuel, diesel fuel. The tube reaches the fuel just enough so that you can go until you have 1/4 tank left, in 1/4 tank worth of fuel left. And that's as far as the tube will reach. So the 3/4 ton, you saw what we did. We pulled it out and we ended up replacing the foot on the original sending unit. I honestly don't know if this one's going to be the same or not. The top looks different, so I'm leaning toward it's going to be something different in here. I've never pulled one of these out, so we're going to find out. But I see the supply line, and I see the return line, and I see the electrical, but we can't unplug the electrical. I don't know, where does that go to? Let's see if we can't find where that goes to. Where does that plug in? Somewhere under there. Maybe that's it right there. I don't know. Let me do a little fooling around, see what I can find. What we're going to end up doing, though, if I can find a plug for that electrical connector, is we'll take these little bolts out. I've brushed around it a little bit and blew it off with the air hose. But I may do some more cleaning around it because I don't want to get, you know, stuff falling into the tank. Okay, we got all the little bolts out, and I just grabbed a hold of it to see if it was going to be easy to break loose. It is. So I haven't looked to see what's under it yet. I got to get my electrical. I don't know where that. There we go. Come on. All right. I did break the tab off of it trying to get this thing out. Didn't want to do that, but that's what happened. So anyway. Well, it looks like it's going to be the same situation. Same situation as the 3/4 ton. See, that's what's left of the foot, that black piece right there. The rest of the foot broke off. So, you know, I had trouble just finding the foot on the internet, but I'm going to do my best to do the search again, and we can just replace the foot on this thing. That duckbill doesn't look like it's in all that great of a shape either, so we'll see if we can't find that. Also, it won't close back. So if I try to change the fuel filter down below in the fuel water separator, it's just going to keep flowing. So, all right, now we're going to start the internet search for the foot and the duckbill valve. But otherwise, it's pretty much the same as the one that came out of 3/4 ton. So I'll lay this over here. So that's what it looks like. It's looks the same as the other one, but all right, let me start that search. In order to keep trash from falling down in the tank, I'm just gonna set it back in there for now until we can source a part, and then I'll get you guys back. I found some parts, but it's frustrating because these little plastic feet here, you can go online and they all look the same. This one is for the 7.3s and I think the 6.0s, which was up to 2008, 2007 anyway. My truck's a 2008 with the 6.4. Do you see the problem? Both the foot and the pipe are 1/2 inch diameter. I think the reason you can't find these pieces individually for the 6.4 liters is because they want you to have to buy the whole thing. And we went through that on the 3/4 ton, and it ended up not even fitting because it was too long. So we're not doing that on this one. So I purchased the $12 lookalike that won't fit. I believe it came off of Amazon. They're all over Amazon, eBay. They're all over the internet. You can get these for like, I don't know, $10, $12. So here's what I did. I've already cut a piece of this off. I cut a piece that is the same length as from this little flange here to here, because this on the 6.4 liters is big enough so that it can slip over the tube. So I cut a piece off that's equal from here to here because that's what would have slid up into that tube. Now, to connect these two pieces together, you got it. I got a piece of 1/2 inch fuel line. So that once I put this 1/2 inch fuel line onto this, I can push this up onto the tube until it stops. That should put it at the same distance. I should put the bottom of this foot at the same distance to the bottom of the tank as the original was. So I got a couple of hose clamps, got this hose. You got to be careful when you're tightening your hose clamp on this because it's just plastic, and it will break. So we're going to be ginger with that. I'm also going to use some of this stuff I've grown to like here. It's called Seal All, gas and oil resistant. So I'm going to put that together, and then we'll get you back. Also, what I've done, the gasket That's another thing about this stuff. This gasket right here, there's a lot of them on the internet. Some are smaller, some are larger. This one has these 4 little rubber, I'm gonna call it a locator. Thinking of another word, but let's be politically correct and let's call this a locator. There's 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you'll see, they're kind of wide at the base, so when you push this gasket on, they're kind of like, they act as keepers. They'll hold this gasket on there. Now, on the internet, you can find these with 3 of these locators. You can find them with 4, and they're not spaced equally like this one is. So, yeah, you can find all types of parts that look like it, and you'll order parts all day long, and every time they'll arrive, you'll be like, no, this ain't it. So that's why I've opted just to use what I've got. Even the $12 foot that don't fit, we're going to make it fit with a piece of fuel hose. We're going to get it clamped on. I've cleaned this seal up. I haven't spent much time cleaning the other surface on the tank. So I'm going to get this put together. We'll clean that mating surface of that seal right there. And we're going to get it installed. And I'll bring you back when we get to that point. Okay, I got the foot connected to the pipe with the piece of 1/2-inch fuel hose. Got the hose clamps on. Got it in there, and I've got the 6 little screws started. Well, I've just got them finger tight, so I'm gonna go ahead and snug those down. I do not have a torque spec on these. They were actually pretty loose when I took them off. So, I don't know what that is. It's probably 10 foot-pounds. I'm just gonna leave it like that. Need an extension, because some of these are. All right, so I tightened that one. We're just gonna kind of go. See, there's 6 of them. Okay, so we can go opposites. I'm sure there's a torque spec on these. I don't know what it is. All right, so that one and that one. So let's go back up here to this one. Do the one right across from it. Go back up here to this one. Do the one right across from it. That was it. Let's go around each one now and just check, make sure we got them all. All right. All we got to do now is reconnect our fuel lines and our electrical connector. Let's go ahead and push these fuel connectors back on. Till they click. Till they click and they won't come back off. Perfect. All right. Now our electrical connector, we had to fish it out if you'll remember, so, and I can't see under there. Try to do this by feel. All right, so we got that end. Where's the other end? So my problem is when I took this connector apart, this thing, the plastic is rotten, and there was a whole lot of dirt compacted in there, and I tried to spray it out with some carb cleaner to get all that trash out, but it still just broke. So all I need is to like keep this from coming apart. But if they need to get it back apart, it needs to be something easy so they can get it back apart. Well, what I've done, there's 2 wires on this side and 2 wires on that side. I just put a zip tie between these wires, run it all the way around and come up through the other 2 wires. That way the zip tie doesn't slide off. Get your connector tight, put your zip tie on. That's it. You just want it to retain, like a retainer. Take your wire snips, snip that off. Now this was fastened under here. All I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna tuck it under, and I'm gonna zip tie it to one of these fuel lines, because seeing as how I can't see under there, all I need to do is to kind of keep it from getting hung on something or coming up here on top, which it probably wouldn't. But I'm just going to zip tie it to one of these fuel hoses right here. It's not going to hurt a thing. Like I say, we're dealing with this diesel fuel, not gasoline, so it's not explosive. So that's a good thing. Well, I know it wasn't much. Just thought you guys might, if you're having to do a repair like this and you're struggling trying to find parts, like that little orange duckbill check valve, you can't find that thing. You have to find rubber check valves for everything else in the world and try to match the size, and I just wasn't up to that. So I tried the heat gun on mine, because you know fuel flows through them for so many years and then they don't want to close back, and I thought the heat gun on it might help it to gain some elasticity back, take its original shape. It didn't. Anyway, she's back on. All is well. Repair complete. Now when you're out of fuel, it should be sitting on E instead of on a quarter of a tank. That was my main goal here, because this truck is for sale. If you're interested in in this 1-ton we've been working on, if you saw the botched engine install video, you know that this engine is practically brand new Jasper engine, so really good engine, strong. The shop that originally installed it goofed, and I had to take it to a diesel expert that lives in the next town, and he was able to correct all their errors. So yeah, if you're interested in a really good truck, I mean, we have fixed everything on it. Good strong truck, 6.4 turbocharged. Drop me a line, I'll sell it to you. We're running a early winter sale. Anyway, thank y'all for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. We'd love for you to join us. Join the A&A Nation. You guys have a good day, and just remember, always be kind to one another. See you next time.